Hi guys, welcome to Simproved, Fry speaking here, and this time I have this Bewitched retreat, and I built it because I've seen a lot of you guys have built some houses for their witch sims or fairy sims in the Sims 4 gallery, and I have to say that these are pretty dark and evil and haunted and spooky looking. And I think this doesn't give the justice and the right credit to the witches here. I know that in most fairy tales the witches are pretty evil and they eat children and enchant, I don't know, people and so on. But in my fairy tales that I know from when I was a little kid, and I'm German, so the German fairy tales are pretty known, like Hansel and Gretel and Snow White and so on, the Brothers Grimm fairy tales. And I can remember that not in every single fairy tale the witch was the evil one, and sometimes these witches are old ladies living in the woods and helping people out somehow. I mean, they're pretty autonomous, they live in the forest, and I just wanted to create a house that is more suiting for this kind of style of witch that I just thought when I'm thinking about a good witch. And I wanted it to be in the outdoor retreat forest world, I would say, but somehow my game crashed a lot when I'm building there, so please just imagine this standing in the middle of a forest surrounded by trees and everything, pretty far away from civilization and so on. And I thought this would be the perfect thing for this house and perfect location. But since it crashed, I had to move it, or I had to build it on the new crest lot. Then it didn't crash. But after I've built it, I put it into the outdoor retreat world, and then it worked there. So maybe the build mode is only corrupted there, and it looks fantastic there. It's really, really cool. My Sims made some vacation there. I mean, I've built some witches that live in there, but I will talk about them later, what I experienced with my build here. But first, let me just talk about what kind of choices I made here and why I'm building it as I am building. So I decided to go with maybe a theme that it was a small stone cottage, hence the stone wallpaper sometimes, and then stuff to this house got added throughout the years and decades, and that's why there are some different wallpapers, some wooden annexes and additions to this house, and I just thought this looks pretty cool. Also makes it a little bit more detailed and as realistic, I would say, as possible. I mean, it looks pretty enchanted and maybe cartoonish, I would say. I mean, no house really looks like this, I guess, in real life, but I just wanted to go with a more maybe Disney enchanted vibe here, and I guess I pretty much nailed that, what I wanted to do here, and I was pretty happy that I had so many different objects that fit the theme. And yeah, I'm pretty amazed that it turned out so great. And since this house crashed a lot and I had to build it 6 times again over and over because I have some problems on my home PC, this is why this recording is on a laptop, so I'm sorry if the graphics aren't the ones that you are used to. I am still trying to fix the issue on my main computer, and I hope it will be done soon. And since then I have to record on this laptop here. I think you can still see everything and it isn't so pixely, but I try my best to go back and give you the best graphics and so on for my videos. Since this is located actually in the woods, I decided to go with a very green roof. This has the green shingles on it, and I thought maybe these are brown shingles or dark shingles, and over the time in the decades moss and grass has been growing on the roof and so on, and it looks really, really cool. I really like the feeling about that. And then I found the roots, the alien plant roots that I got with the Get to Work add-on. You can find them if you use the BB Show Hidden Objects cheat. I guess you need that. To find it. And then it is in the plant section, and I use them throughout the roofs. So it looks as if these roots and all the plants are already claiming the house. So nature is already claiming this house because it's standing in the woods for such a long time. And also these alien roots, I didn't know that when I placed them, but then in the play mode I figured out that this is like another really cool feature, because these alien roots, they glow in the dark. How can I describe this? So they are glowing, but it also looks like if the light is like flowing through these roots, and so like this it looks really amazing. I couldn't capture it with a screenshot here. You really have to see it live. You have to be in live mode and at night and see that, because this looks amazing. It looks as if the magic from the house or from the witches living in there is like already in the roots and so on, and it flows through the whole house. It looks really cool, really amazing. Gives it a really nice feature. I'm pretty happy about that it turned out so great like this, because I didn't even expect that these roots are like glowing like this. And yeah, it looks really amazing. I hope you like it too. I think it looks pretty nice. I also tried to have like a very messy landscaping, because I just thought maybe like since it's already in the woods, then the witch or the people living there wouldn't care so much about like a very extravagant and well done and maintained garden. So I used a lot of these grass and the forest flowers there, and also I tried to put some of these red alien flowers in there as well that I found, and they glow too, so it looks pretty cool at night. I really can't describe it very good, but it looks amazing at night. Also, I put tons and tons of decorations on the house, so not only the roofs are decorated with the flowers and the roots and the grass. There's also like some balconies on there and some window boxes and so on. It looks pretty cool, very detailed, very enchanted, and somehow a little bit more haunted and used, and like over the years all this stuff got added to this house, and I really love it. It looks really cool. And yeah, so downstairs I sectioned it off that there's downstairs like a kitchen, a living room, and a little, I would say, hobby area. So the kitchen was of course again my first room that I went to decorate. I found lots and lots of cool rustic and old looking stuff. I tried to use a lot of wood here, since I couldn't imagine that there's like plastic or very modern, clean, sleek stuff here. And it's really cool to use these kind of things, because I usually don't, and I think it looks pretty amazing. And I could use a lot of spooky stuff and a lot of the outdoor retreat stuff here. Everything was pretty fitting to this theme. And also, of course, I used the spooky stuff cauldron in one of the corners of the kitchen, because, you know, maybe sometimes they want to cook their potions or brew their potions inside. So this was pretty amazing that I could scale this one up and put it in the corner there. Also, I used a lot of things from the debug mode. You can exit this through the BB show hidden objects, and then in the kitchen decorations you find like every fish you can fish for and every mineral and so on. And I used a lot of these gooey jars. I guess there are the alien things in there. I don't know how you get them in the gameplay, but I thought maybe these are already potions or some, I guess, like marmalades or something that they've already made. So I put a lot of these there, and I used some minerals. Maybe they rub some or scrap some mineral into their potions and so on. It gives them like some superpowers also. Yeah, I really like the debug mode for this, because there's so much stuff that could like fit the theme, like all the minerals and like, all the jars and so on. I already knew that there were so many things, because I've done like the Madame Mim magical shop, like this magical esoterical shop, and I could reuse like a lot of these objects I found back then, and it looks pretty cool. I'm really glad that it turned out so good and so well detailed, because we have so many objects fitting to this house, I would say. So the kitchen is probably like my favorite room, I guess. And also my witch sims that I had for playtesting living there, they of course hang out a lot in the kitchen and had a talk. Some of them try to read a lot in the living room, because I thought, well, a TV and everything electrical wouldn't be so fitting for this house, of course. There will be lots of these cool bookcases and some old bookcases with these old, how they're called, grimoires in them, and maybe there are like these magical books in there and they can study them in the living room and have like a tea or something. I don't know, what do witches do every time or every day? Like, do they drink tea? Do they have a tea? They're English, they're British witches. And yeah, I try to mismatch in the living room, of course, so there are like mismatched armchairs and mismatched tables and so on, so it looks a little bit put together by, you know, over the time and the decades. I was pretty lucky that we have like the same wood options here, so I didn't have to filter a lot of these objects out, and it looks pretty nice. I really like the brown tones, the earthy tones there, and I really like the grandma couch there. I know it looks a little bit too fancy, but in brown I think it fits the theme. And also I like these grandma pillows. I think for me it's like a old grandma couch. I don't know why, it just looks the part. And since I just thought maybe the witch living there while I was building this is like an old lady living there on her own for years now, the couch was perfect for this idea, to have like a grandma couch. And also I was pretty lucky that through the debug mode you can have like these fishies that you can put on the wall. So since I just thought that maybe the witch living there is like pretty autonomous, and she grows her own crops and her own fruits in the garden, and she is fishing on her own and hunts for her own meat in the forest and so on, and maybe collect some mushrooms from the forest. I decided that it would be necessary, of course, to have like these fish paintings. I mean, they're not paintings, I don't know how you call these trophies where the fishes are on. So she is like pretty good at fishing, and she put some of these fishes on the wall, of course, because these were like the best fishes she has ever collected in her life. And yeah, I really like the idea. So the other room is more of a hobby room. So there are these workbenches, because yeah, you pretty much need to create your own stuff out of wood there, because I mean, there's like a lot of wood in the forest, and there's even like a little, is it poker? I mean, there's this card game table. I just thought this is perfect, because in my game then in the end I had like 6 witches living there, 4 really old ones and 2 apprentices. I don't know how it's called in the witch genre, but or acolytes or something. And they went along pretty well, and they played some cards there as well. So this is why I put this there. And outside, of course, there's like a really big cauldron sitting on some roots. I have to remind you again that these are glowing in the dark, so this looks really cool in the dark. And I used some of these stone tables I got from the outdoor retreat add-on, and I put some of these glass jars on it and some other kitchen decorations, every kind of stuff that you might need if you want to use your cauldron and want to brew something there. I just thought this looks pretty cool. And also I thought maybe like outside to have like a very big cauldron outside is like a really nice touch for this witch house, so that from the outside you can already see, oh okay, there's a cauldron, so a witch must be living there. So yeah, I really like that idea. So in the upper floor there are 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, and since I had like 6 witches living there, I could have done the bedrooms like smaller and more of them, but I wanted it to be a little bit more just realistic, I guess. Because when I was little, my grandparents or my family had like a house in the middle of the woods as well. And we even called it like the witch house in my family. And when we went there for a vacation, and then we all slept in the same room. It was like the attic, and then in the attic everyone was sleeping at night. And it just reminded me of this. So maybe like, why not? I mean, the Sims can really sleep in the same room. And since not everybody on the world has like the same luxury to have their own bedroom, I just thought maybe my witches definitely don't have that too. So I decided to make like one big bathroom with bathtub and every other necessities they might have. Necessities they might have. And the upper two bedrooms, there is like one king-size bed in each bedroom and one smaller bed. So I thought maybe like the teacher's witch is having like the king-size bed and the apprentice is sleeping in the same room, so the apprentices can always be watched by their tutor witches. And I just thought this would be really, really cool. So I had like 3 Sims sleeping in one bedroom and it all went fine. And I found this really, really cool big fish head trophy, and I had to hang it over a bed because I thought over a bed this would look so cool. Just imagine living or like lying on this bed and then seeing this big head of this ugly fish. I just thought this is pretty funny and I had to put it there. I really like this. So they have some pet insects and some pet frogs in their bedroom, or maybe they use them for potions or poison from the frog and so on. I don't know, maybe. I just thought this fits like the theme here. And the other room, there will be like a really big bookcase in it, and the king-size bed and the apprentice bed and so on. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you liked it. You can find it in the Sims 4 gallery under the name Bewitched Retreat and also under my EA account ID Simproved. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you soon.